Hello and welcome to this channel. I am Dr. Anshu coming back with the today's Hindu editorial analysis. So today the thought of the day is don't let yourself be controlled by the three things: your past, people and the money. Your past shouldn't be matter to your present and future. People, their emotions, you shouldn't let them to control you. And money, don't just run for the small things for the upcoming big things that are losing the opportunity for that. So, without wasting the time, let's have a recap what we are going to cover and end the session within the 30 minutes. If you find it interesting and new to my channel, just go through my content. You will find it worth it. Every day I coming back with the Hindu editorial analysis at the 9 p.m. with the revised edition. You can go and check out every editorial, international relations. I will covering everything in detail, and also as a revised edition you can just check out what is going in the current affair. So let's have a recap. Front page covering about the Union Minister DMK MP sparse in Lok Sabha. Talk yields no result. Highways remain blocked in Manipur. Next is about the Mark Carney set to replace Trudeau as the PM of Canada. New Delhi considers restoring High Commissioner to Canada reset ties. Third is India's second largest arms importer after Ukraine in 2024, says CIPRI. Editorial covering about the text and opinion matter. It's a flawed food regulations fuel the obesity crisis, and the small corner news is limited over form in the formats of cricket. Fifth one is covering an editorial about an India-US trade agreement and test of WTO laws. Sixth is covering about the what is behind the rise of quick commerce. And last one is covering about the bomb hoax makes Air India flight to return Mumbai, and over 6 lakh cases identified as a part of TB control campaign, and fashion brand apology for hold show in Gulmarg. So these are we are going to cover. So let's have covering with the front page about the Union Minister DMK MP's pass in Lok Sabha. So the Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan comment in the Lok Sabha on Monday that the government, Tamil Nadu government had taken a U-turn on an issue of national policy for politics, education policy for politics, and was dishonest in implementing the PM School for Rising India lists PM Shri to an uproar with DMK MPs disrupting the proceeding in half an hour. So we are already seeing that the many editorials covering about the national education policy, which is talking about the implementation of the three language policy, its own regional language English, and introduction of Hindi as a also in the South Indian state. But they are denying the fact that it is not mandatory and not anywhere written that it is mandatory to put a Hindi there also in their state. So there was just one of allegations of both the Union Minister and the South, its MP DMK that disturbing the proceeding of an half an hour, and it's just telling commentators the Union Minister remark in LS Lok Sabha. So Tamil Nadu Chief Minister is also reacting controversial remarks made by Union Dharmendra Pradhan in Lok Sabha on Monday that mind his tongue, and he wanted to know whether Prime Minister Modi condemned the comment insulting the people of state. So there was some there is some comment has passed in the parliament in the Lok Sabha about the implementations of NEP policy and how it is breaching the privileges against Mr. Pradhan for making highly malicious, misleading and defamatory remarks. So it is interpreting misleading, dishonest, undemocratic, uncivilized, and it's my parliamentary colleagues from DMK and other supporting parties, and also made a baseless accusations against the entire group of elected representative. So it expunges from its record. So these are the controversial issues that is rising. And next is about we are already covering from the last 2-3 days about last few days. It's all 1 month, and you can say it's This issue is arising from the last March 2023. So there was a highway. There is a that highways is blocked in Manipur, and it's the Kuki-Zo groups that indefinite shutdowns would continue. There is a Monday official that a free movement vehicles from valley to the hills and vice versa would resume over the situation normalize. Here the government officials, Kuki-Zo civil society has consented the assured smooth playing of Manipur state transport buses on March 7 before they attacking on Kangpoi. The violent clashes with left one day, and Kuki-Zo representing the Kangpoi considered that they shared the movement of empty buses. Kuki-Zo group had agreed that they will let the MST bus passes through hills, and these are there is a Naga Dominion as per plan, and unlike the movement of commercial goods, NH2 and NH37 has also been halted since March 8, and the valley areas where the Meiteis are the landlocked. Not everyone afford the aerial route, and the people may travel to Dimapur and take the train or bus routes. Next is about the Mark Carney set to be replaced the Trudeau as a PM Canada. So finally replacing the Canadian PM, it's Trudeau. Now the Mark Carney is going to be Canada's next Prime Minister after the governing Liberal Party elected him as a leader on Sunday. And at the time when a country deals with US President Donald Trump trade war, the annexation threat and the federal election looms. So the Justin Trudeau, who announced resignation in January but remain as a post until the successor is won. Mr. Carney won by the winning is 85.9% from the Liberal Party also. So Mr. Trump, as we know, has put unjustified tariff on what we build and what we sell. So the Indian families and workers, and there's a 2000. So the waiting crisis here, the 2008 financial crisis faster than many other countries. How they have Donald Trump had just set the tariffs on these high tariffs on the Mexico, Canada, India also. So New Delhi considered restoring a high commissioner to Canada to reset the ties. So the Canadian sources signs that the exit of Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau from could signal a thaw virtually frozen since over Nizar case, and Canadian Security Intelligence as Roger is said to visit in the India for next to attend meeting intelligence and change over the cases between the national security remained headed by the national security advisor, and Singapore Indian diplomats as few of. So there is a separatist leader of Hardeep Singh Nizar, but the Modi government denied all the charges, and evidence has shared no evidence has been shared to the claims. And the Liberal Party Prime Minister designate Mark Carney as he is sworn in next few weeks after the Canadian federal elections are held later this year. So diplomat meeting is some former diplomats from Delhi and Ottawa have met in past few months and track to rebuild ties have skilled the downhill of September 23. And given the existential crisis Canada faces at Trump, and India has to be diversification of strategically speeding the return of high commissions to both capitals. Given the background, and would to thanks the Mark Carney to incline quietly, but he is realm of course, and he will try to be relying much as leader. Next is India's second largest arms importer after Ukraine in 2024, says SIPRI. So India is the second largest arm importers after Ukraine. So Ukraine is the first arm importer, and top exporter countries are US, France, so here we talk about the SIPRI. So what is SIPRI? SIPRI stand for the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. So Ukraine involved already in Russia and become a largest importer for the major arm in the world during 2020-24. And India became the second largest arms importer, though the trade figures decreased from 9.3% and between 25-19. So the country was a big arms exporter destination through. China dropped out the list of 10 arms exporter from first time. And largest share of India arm importer is 36% came from Russia. A significantly smaller than 2015-19 55% and 2010-14 is 72%. So arm import by Pakistan grew up by 61%. Between 2059 and 2024, China became even more dominant as supplier of continuing 81% of Pakistan arms import in 24-23. So while European arms import overall grew 155% between the same periods as continent rearms itself, the US further increases the share. It's 43% of while Russia export. 64%, accounting for 7.8% global arm. And 4 countries in Asia and Oceania, India, Pakistan, Japan, Australia ranked among the 10 largest arm importers, and Russia delivered the 3 arms to 33 countries, in which 2 went to 3 countries, India 38%, China 17%, Kazakhstan. So Russia delivered basically 3 countries, and French exports at same time France exported arms to 65 countries. So the top exporters were US, France and Russia. So you can say already seen that the France exported 65 countries, Russia delivered 33 countries, and the European countries trebled about 15-19, and this is according to SIPRI. So this was mainly due to deliveries of combat aircraft to Greece and Croatia in the Ukraine-Russia full-scale invasion, and already the French arms are to be exported 28%. Most of the European recipients combined 15%. So the major recipients from France was Qatar is 9.7%. The France including 36 Rafale jets and a 6 Scorpion class conventional. And has mega lined up, and meanwhile the deal for 26 Rafale M jet and 3 submarines are set to be concluded very soon. Global transfer volume, the overall volume from arms transfer globally through the maintained roughly as of 15-19, and 18% was 18 as Europe was set and decreased in other region. Italy with a 4.5% share jumped from the exporter list and reported that 35 countries sent to the weapons in 2020 and substantial leverage and the Matthew George program. However, some arm importers including Saudi Arabia saw large declines in import volume. So moving to the next is about the flawed food regulations fuels obesity crisis. So already we have seen that the Hindu analysis is covering the obesity crisis, that how the Indians led to the obesity, how the junk food contained in our body leading to so much diseases in our body. And there was a survey from the Oslo National Family Health Survey. So basically today we will discuss the writer who is itself a doctor, Dr. Arun Gupta, pediatrician, public health expert and nutrition advocacy in public interest. So he is a former member of a PM Council Indian Nutritional Challenge. So here the writer is telling about that in economic survey of 25, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls to tackle the obesity, a recommendation and imposition of taxes on the UPFS. UPFS is it's a ultra processed food to curb their consumption. But these efforts are risk being derailed by Indian ambitious, industry friendly, already it is industry friendly, it's subjective food marking regulations. And in India, 1 in 4 adult men and women are obese, and 1 in 4 adults are either diabetic or pre-diabetic. So the National Family Health Survey, this data is by National Family Health Survey 5. So underline the urgency of problem, right to information, responses of official communications exposes how various ministries, food safety standard FSCI have not been implemented, labeling the advertising of regulation planned in 2017 and continue to rely on regulations that are ambiguous and subjective in nature. No wonder there are so many advertisements of UPFS and no front of packets label yet. So labeling and advertising. So in September 22, its FSSI proposed the Indian nutrition to rating a health star habit. Health star habits, if it is 5, then it is healthiest, and if it is half star, it means least healthy. So right to information responses the confirm that FSSAI relied on IMM Ahmedabad study justice rating that it never critically evaluated the worst food industry, represented a dominant key stakeholder and group dominated. Moreover, the FSCI ignored its own 2021 draft regulation and traffic light color audit mandatory warning label. So the pre-packaged and unhealthy food products, this system allows the Indian nutrition being allows us to the high fats. So high fats HFSS, it's high in fat, salt and sugar. So these pre-packaged unhealthy foods products already contain very high fat, salt and sugar, and UPFS such as biscuit flaunt 2-star packets when they might otherwise have 4 warning signals. Similarly, a soft drink that should have high warning in sugar instead gets 2-star. It's talking about the Coke, that it's very high to sugar and sodium, get 3-star. This means the system allows us to food to be some level healthy. Globally, warning label says that the product is high in sugar, salt or bad fats, allow a consumer to know the true nature of product. Most of front label pack is used today as warning label. For instance, in chilies black high labels, it's high level warning that reduce consumption of UPS by 24%, and the fix is therefore to ensure notified soon and mandatory. And the National Institute of Nutritional Deficiency guideline on Indian, that were also WHO, India has a 4 curb laws to misleading advertising HFSS, existing regulation, ambitious subjective and Consumer Protection Act 2019 define it as a misleading product, that is any product that is deliberately conceal important information. And FSS regulation now will specify that nutritional information food product must be provided in the advertisement. So what is the path forward writer is talking about? That 1, the economic survey is rightly demand the stringent from front pack label and sticker marketing. To achieve this, India need to scrap the Indian nutrition rating system. First one is that. Second is about that there must be clear sugar, salt, fat limits HFSS food. Third is that advertising loopholes needed to be closed. Fourth is the government should consider launching of campaign on risk of UPFS in all languages. UPFS is in all languages. India obesity crisis is not a public failure but also a policy failure. So economic survey offers a roadmap to rectify this. Without urgent action, a plan to halt obesity by 2025 will not be successful. Prime Minister a vision of healthy India demands more than rhetoric. India needs a regulatory approach that does not sacrifice the children's health for their corporate profit. Suggestions in economic survey can break the cycle to achieve the Prime Minister vision. It is for policymaker to show urgency. Next is the limited over forms. So India has now become the second one to have a highest ICC champion trophy. First one is Australia. So tell me in the comment how much ICC trophy does we have. So the India's latest triumph in ICC champion trophies carried inevitably in Sunday by overcoming the gritty of New Zealand by side of 4 wickets with over and to spare. So the victory of a fireworks lit up the Dubai sky and 252 get chased down. Rohit Sharma men have secured 23 wins, astounding a 95.83% of success rate. And stationed in Dubai for 3 weeks due to Pakistan, the official host, India benefited from their success and was not merely circumstantial but also against Bangladesh, Pakistan, New Zealand. Semi-final proved this. So sluggish speech and India's strategy for fielding four spinner proved decisive. Varun Chakravarti, Ravindra Jadeja, Akshar Patel and Kuldeep Yadav stifled the New Zealand scoring through the Michelle Stanner team still managed to competitive 251 for 7, and high stake final scoreboard pressure is always a factor. So Rohit's composed 76 set the tone, and India's deep batting lineup the setbacks in Test cricket. So Rishabh Pant was left out playing in 11, and talents such as Surya Kumar Yadav, Ishan Kishan did not even make squad. Contribution from Shreyas Iyer, KL Rahul, Hardik Pandya underscored the collective efforts, while Mohammad Shami returned off the absence of injured Jasprit Bumrah. Virat Kohli constancy and Rohit leadership suggest the retirement is not imminent for either stalwart, but selector must have to look ahead the 27 ODI World Cup. Honest assessment and strategic planning to ensuring the sustained dominance in year one. So there is nobody taking the retirement. It was a rumor. They are going to play in 2027 also, and again there will be one trophy cup will be coming in our home. So next is about success India's US trade agreement and test of WTO laws. So it's World Trade Organization. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi working on visit to United States on February 13-25, New Delhi and Washington to negotiate the first stage of mutually beneficial multi-sectoral bilateral trade fall of 25. So it develops through the lens of international trade, and significant portion of international trade law is codified in a general agreement on trade and tariff and governed by WTO. Since both the US and India are a member of WTO, their bilateral trade dealing must align with the standards set by WTO laws, and this makes a proposed BTA between two countries. So the free trade agreement says that which prohibit the discrimination between trading partners. Therefore, an FTA that grants preferential access to certain countries violate the MFN rules, although the countries can still establish the FTAs under specific conditions. So one of the conditions outlined in Article 24.8b of GATT require a member of countries to eliminate a custom, duties and other trade barriers substantially all trade of FTA. So this trade is not defined in agreement, and this requirement is exists because FTAs are exceptions to MFN principle, which is cornerstone of multilateral trading system. And whether the such agreement will be economically beneficial for India topic. So interim agreements is enabling the clauses to India and US to establish a BTA for a select products without and violating the WTO laws. For notifying agreements such as interim agreement, there is agreement will be made, and there will be bilateral trade agreement for select product without violating the interim agreement. So Article 24 of GATT permit them to sign an interim that pave away the eventual FTA subjects to specific conditions. However, India and US not only notify the proposed BTA but also the interim agreement. They are genuinely intend to sign the FTA. MFN consistent trade, maybe politically, and WTO law provide another exceptions to MFN principle. What is known as WTO countries can deviate from the main principles and also provide a better market. However, since it proposed India USA the rate on each product, it is possibly cannot call arrangement following up enabling cause. So respecting WTO laws is first is US President. Pragmatic conception is reciprocal tariffs. We already detailed what is it. And whereby the increase the tariff will align the good violates the core WTO principle of FN, and special and differential treatment SND allows the developing countries to offer a less than full reciprocity of tariff commitments, violate the US bound tariff rate obligations above what is committed at WTO. So the proposed BTA negotiations present a crucial test for India to uphold the WTO laws and not capitulate to American pressure. Next is what is the behind the rise of quick commerce. So what is the reason and how it is the quick commerce rises? So today the dark stores and how they facilitate Q-commerce. How does customer data elevate? So it was presented to the under lockdown customers during COVID-19 pandemic, where the youngest avenue of digital shopping to having alter how people shop, particularly in urban India. So how does a quick commerce function? Basically, it is a e-commerce, and quick commerce entails a rapid delivery, typically in 10 to 20 minutes. So basically deliver in 10 to 20 minutes of a product customer doorstep, and it is facilitated by elaborate network of dark stores and a distribution center. So dark stores refers to the warehouses used by platforms to fulfill the online orders. With no in-person shopping, the idea is to close proximity to consumer to facilitate faster delivery. So additionally, unlike a traditional retail store, modern retail super high quick commerce based around the mobile app benefits the customer data to create a feedback loop, and the inexperienced and inventory responding to better to demand for a product. An example could estimating when stock up certain product that is season in the demand or abrupt demographic influence. So what is in the brand? According to a paper, the Center for Transportations and Logistics for IIM Ahmedabad, quick commerce is beneficial to retailer and enhance the brand awareness. Also, the retail sector at EY Parthenion observed that the manpower of certain age of economic profile has been among the crucial factor for uptake. And according to Grant Thornton, the Indian quick commerce rises from the this huge rise like 3.31 billion and is expected to rise in $9.95 billion by 29. So industry is growing 76% from YO in F20 2024. So what is about traditional retailer? Non-governmental organization representing FMG, stockists, distributor across India, All India Consumer Product, APDSA, Competition Commission of India accused the quick commerce trio Blinkit, Zepto, Swiggy, Instamart anti-competitive practices. And according to them, platform unfairly set the prices of product below the landing cost, deliberately eliminate the competitor from market. Once the objective is attained, platform increases somehow for like Apple phone users, they show the different prices, and Android is the prices is different. So APSC also pointed out platform having a deep pockets because of inflow from venture and facilitate the using data and can be used based on the customer locations, device type, and or federations highlighted with the traditional retailer. So PM Ganesh Ram, founder of President Tamil Nadu Consumer, must have a level playing and coexisting. So next is the bomb hoax makes Air India. The fighter took at 1:45 in Mumbai, time which is mandatory for the checks by security agency, and there's over 6 lakh identified as a part of TB control. So 4.3 has been diagnosed in 455 interventions. And last year, 100 days international TB elimination launch, and there are 100 days TB is a Mukt Bharat Abhiyan strategy for early TB indications, offering the X-ray screening high risk populations, individual with diabetes, HIV, and by deploying the unportable hand-laid X-ray units predicting door-to-door screening, and also X-ray result a confirmed NAT advanced diagnostic to identify the multiple of symptomatic TB patients. So its X-ray result is confirmed in NATs, the new it's laboratory diagnostics test for the diagnosis of the asymptomatic TB. The next is the fashion brand apology for a whole show in fashion show of raised during the holy month of Ramzan, and model show is covered in lobs here. So that's for all. Let's have a summary and ending this session. So front page covering Union Minister DMK MP spars in Lok Sabha. Talk yields no result. Highway remain blocked in Manipur. Next is Mark Carney set to replace a Trudeau PM, and New Delhi considered restoring High Commissioner Canada to reset the ties. Third is covering the India's Ukraine arm exporter. Second, India become the second one. Fourth is they're told about flawed regulations, obesity crisis, and limited overform. Sixth is covering about the Indian-US trade agreement. 7 is covering about the what is the behind the rise of quick commerce, and 8th one is about the bomb hoax to make India's fight to return. So that's for today. Try to cover every important current affairs and editorial in detail. Tomorrow we'll meet with a new editorial. Till now, stay connected and share this channel to those anybody who wants a current affair. And if you like the content, just hit the subscribe button for updating, so that you will be updated with what is uploading in this. Thank you. Good night.